It's a time for pick it from China.
So in today's video we're going to be taking a close look at the package from China with the ED64 Plus for the N64. Supports micro SD card for a maximum of 32 GB, and I can tell you with the space these ROMs take in, it's more than enough. Region free, will play from PAL all the way up to the NTSC run systems and vice versa. So we're having all kinds of, let's say, different solutions where EverDrive is actually the best one out there, but it's also like maybe 5 times the price of this one. So you need to take consideration what kind of product you actually want to pick up. So in here we're having all kinds of, let's say, very cool features they're showing over here, but this is actually just a plug and play solution to a budget way. Yeah, and what is kind of cool, you can just plug it in any different region of a system. So plugging it in here we're finding the ED64 Plus, and this thing is be sold in many different kind of formats. So the ED64 Plus is a game safe device, they love to call it. So, and at the top we're finding a solution that we can just switch between the different regions. So at the side we're finding the micro SD card slot, and in here we're having a 16 GB and a max of 32 GB. But 16 GB is more than enough. And however, this thing is a very lightweight cartridge, but let's plug it in and let's see what we're getting with this. For today's setup, we're having an N64. It's actually an AliExpress N64, because in here we're finding the HDMI solution we have been chit-chatting about on this channel. It's a very budget way to play. However, we don't have like a lot of cool features. But combining both of them, it's going to be absolutely awesome. With the simple reason, because we have an HDMI out, we have a way to play for every single game. The only downside is, there is no expansion pack. So we need to add that if you want to play every single game, but that's something we're going to be doing in the future. So this is the Japanese release version, and yeah, it just is what it is because the seller sold me this and slapped the HDMI solution on this particular model. So we're going to be setting it to the N, not the P. It's highly possible it doesn't boot up at all. But let's plug it in, let's plug everything in, the cables, because this thing has a micro USB at the back, and let's enjoy myself some HDMI with the N64 on my new generation display. So when the system has been turned on, this is actually what you're getting to see. Depending on the version, we do have actually some minor differences, but the ED64 Plus is a very similar one with the 341 and many other multi-game cards. So what you can actually do when making folders, for example in here we're having the US games and Europe games, and you have different kind of regions. And if you have favorite games, you basically put them in your main folder so you will automatically see them directly. So we're having wallpapers, testing Loader 64 ED64P, but let's go to the US games, and here we're finding all of the games that are alphabetic order. So if you're going to be slapping them in with the right name, they will going to be in the right position. However, if you're going to be booting up a game, it's super easy. So pressing the start, for example, having one of my favorite games, Bug Bumble, loading times are very fast. Of course, having an expensive EverDrive in here, we're finding way better overall, let's say, performance. But for the money you're paying for this, it's absolutely not bad at all. Pressing A and we'll boot up into the game itself. So now we're using a US game on a Japanese region device. So when it comes to this, this works absolutely great. We have no issues whatsoever. And the game runs just like it should be. Actually going to be playing a game and you're going to be plugging it in. So that's just great. I have noticed any problems when it comes to the device. And right now we're going to be using it with the AliExpress HDMI solution. So you need to take note that this is a very limited HDMI solution, but it looks okay. Of course, if you're going to be playing it on a 55-inch television, oh man, it's going to be looking absolutely horrible. Pressing L and R1, the shoulder buttons, here we're having the option for the save, firstly the SRAM 128, the EEP 4K and the EEP 16K. And of course the flash, so that's kind of cool, they even have the option to change that out too. Pressing the Z button will give you the menu, and in here we can make just a favorite, and there is actually no favorite in here at this moment. Pressing Z, going back to the menu, having options, the SD speed can be adjusted, font size, having over here different options like small and large, TV mode auto, and here you have like different kind of regions that we can go to. So that's kind of cool, but let's go to the list and let's see what happens if you're going to be choosing the different option. So, and then of course we're having device information. So it's running on firmware 1.16 and having all kinds of cool things, and of course the about situation. And in here we're finding all kinds of, let's say, information about how everything works. For example, reload last game, that can be done over here. We're having force save type and apply open directly back and menu itself. The thing I wanted to showcase is how it works when it comes to the options. So the font size, set it to large, and let's see how that looks. Yeah, okay. It's so much better to read it like that, but I think it's maybe needed if you're having a bigger television. But trying to boot up a couple of games, I didn't notice any problem whatsoever. Man, these guys in GoldenEye, sometimes I'm thinking we're shooting at Terminators. Ah, that's much better. So when it comes to the ED64 Plus, this is not the best ever drive clone out there. Now, there are way better out there, but I think this is just a very nice budget solution when it comes to that. It does have a utilizing of all kinds of different features, but when it comes to this particular model, yeah, there are many different ones out there, as I mentioned before. Thank you all for watching, and it will be great to see you in the next video, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. And I will see you in the next one.